Good morning. It's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here today too, drum roll, I'm here to pull some cards. Shock horror, surprise, surprise. I'm here to pull some cards for Thursday and Friday. That's the 18th and the 19th of July 2024. So welcome. While you're coming over, I want to send out a big extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light members, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. And thank you to everyone who ordered my reading for August. They sold out in, less than 12 hours. I sold out of those. So thank you, and I look forward to connecting with all of you later in July for your August reading. So thank you very much. Also, I'm coming to you live from Tasmania, Australia right now. I'm in the middle of our heart-shaped island, right at the bottom of Australia. And the day is Thursday the 18th of July, and the time is 9:24 a.m. So I trust this video finds you well. And if it doesn't find you well, I trust that you find something helpful from the time that we spend together today. So be open to receiving what you need, and hopefully something will come forward that will support you. Now, if you're new to watching, welcome. What I'm going to be doing is using my Oracle cards. These are cards I created and illustrated some years ago. We've got the Speed of Light Oracle cards and my Animal Kingdom Oracle cards. These have been combined to make a 110 card deck, which is lots of fun to play with. So I'll be using this big deck to find the best cards that the majority of us need for Thursday and then Friday, and then I'm going to pull a theme card for those 2 days. So good morning, Andrea, welcome. Daniel's here too. Welcome, Daniel, and welcome everyone. Let's get started. I just want to also suggest that you think of this as a guide only and see what happens and what resonates with you. And I recommend that you take on board what feels right and what fits into your life easily, the things that you've got going on, and let the rest go. Pay attention to the things that seem like I'm just talking directly to you, and see how things play out over the next couple of days. So I'm looking for, did I see a card flipped? I thought out of the corner of my eye I saw a card flipped, but I didn't, I don't think. Okay, so I'm looking for the best card that the majority of us need for Thursday, the 18th of July. Now, if it's not quite Thursday for you yet, there is a video I did on Monday that has Wednesday's guidance in it. So the best card that the majority of us need for Thursday, the 18th of July, is this. It's an Animal Kingdom. Shock horror, because we've been having lots of Speed of Light oracles lately. This is for Thursday. It's the Bear, card 43, and it says to move out of the rut. Move out of the rut. Now, we retreat back into our cave for various reasons. We retreat back to heal, to mend, to recover from a busy period or a hectic time. So we retreat back into our cave for various reasons. But sometimes when we retreat back, we stay there. So if we stay there to mend, to heal, to recover, or whatever other reason, and we stay in the cave, we don't come out a little bit later after we have recovered and we have resolved and we have rested, then that becomes a rut. That can become a rut. So it usually the rut tends to be either we're stuck or stagnant in our life, or we've kept ourselves in the cave for longer than we needed to be in there. So then we perhaps become too comfortable in the cave. We become too comfortable in our little space And we become a bit like the hermit crab, and we stay home, and we don't like going out, so we don't like stepping out of that comfort zone, really. So we can get into this sort of bad habit in some ways of moving into this rut, or not feeling. I mean, there can be all sorts of various feelings why we feel this, but we feel like we prefer to just be in our safe place, in our cave, for whatever reason. Also, if we've been feeling stuck or stagnant, we can also feel like we're in a rut. And basically, in that sort of scenario, I feel like it's like our heart or our soul is pulling us towards something, but we might be avoiding that, or scared to make that change, or scared to make that move. We might be avoiding how we really feel about something, because emotions help us keep the energy moving and keep us in the flow, because emotions are in motion. So if we're ignoring how we feel about something, or we're not being honest about it, then that creates a space of stagnation where we feel stuck or stagnant. And it's usually because we're not flowing with how we feel. So that's the sort of main two energies that I'm thinking of at the moment that feel like they could contribute to a rut. So are you currently in a rut? And if so, why? Is it important to know why? And if so, how can you get out of that rut? If you've got into the habit of staying at home because you're warmer and more comfortable there, and you're becoming a little perhaps antisocial, then it might be worth, especially on Thursday while this energy is around, it might be worth just taking some little steps out of that comfort zone, some little steps out of that rut, out of that place of stagnation. Because something's calling us, something's enticing us out of the cave, out of ourselves, out of our shell, out of hibernation, out of the winter. And can we trust that pull? Or are we going to override it and stay in our shell and stay in the rut? Because we will surely hold ourselves back if we do that. So if we need to go slowly, we just go slowly. In fact, a little step out of our comfort zone and out of our rut may feel like a huge step for us. So let's not feel like, unless there's something coming up where we have to do it, let's not feel that we have to do it all at once. Let's just do little bits at a time in a way that feels comfortable for us, but also pushes us out of what we know in our heart is now a rut. So we don't want that to hold us back, because life is precious. And the more days we spend in a rut or stuck or stagnant, the less days we have to do something, to discover something, to meet someone new, to bring something exciting into our life, to go on an adventure. Every day we're stuck or stagnant. Every day we're in our hermit's crab or tucked away in our cave. We are missing out on something that could be adventurous and exciting for us. So there's a life out there that's calling us to live it. And we might feel, hopefully we feel like we can slowly, if needed, or quickly, if needed, step out of that rut. So that's for Thursday. Now let's look for the best card for Friday, the 19th of July. So welcome, Seema, and Keith is here, Karen's here, and Judy, and Alison, and Daniel says that's me. I don't know where you said that's me, so I'm not sure which part that was, but I'm glad that you resonate. Okay, let's find now the best card for Friday, the 19th of July, that the majority of us need. So the best card is this. Matthew, hello, and Nadia. We have Speed of Light Oracle, and it's this. Oh, nice. This is the Spirit Bird. This is sort of the opposite of the other card. This is card 37, and it says heart, song, joy, excitement, and motivation. This is a skip to our step. This is a whistle while we work. This is being out of the cave, out of the cage, because sometimes the cave can become a cage if it becomes a rut. This is moving out of that stuck, stale, stagnant place. So in a short period of time, from one day to another, we've got energy that's already enticing us or showing us that we can potentially make a lot of progress, especially on Thursday. And if it's not Thursday for you yet, if it's still Wednesday and you feel this, don't wait till Thursday. You don't have to wait till Thursday. This is not a exactly Thursday or exactly Friday guidance. This is when we feel it, when we feel motivated about it. And this follows from the bear. So this follows from the rut. So this is something uplifting. It's something motivating. It's something exciting, something to look forward to. But maybe even not. Maybe there is something to look forward to. But maybe it's more in the moment than that. Maybe there's something exciting, something that elevates and uplifts us on Friday that does occur, something that comes in, something that we step out into as well. What if that motivation and excitement for life is just there outside our door, but we've been in such a rut and feeling so stuck and stagnant that we haven't actually stepped out the door to see what's growing, maybe some beautiful flowers growing outside our door, metaphorically, that we haven't noticed because we haven't ventured out past that safe zone. So there are things to find, there are things to discover, there are new foods perhaps to eat, there are new people to meet, there are new adventures to be had, that's for sure. So our heart is singing its song of joy, and there is this sense of upliftment. There's a lot to sing about, there's a lot to whistle about. And it might also be counting our blessings, looking at the things that are working for us, the things that do motivate us, the things and the people that are there rather than the people that aren't there and the things that are missing. Because if we notice the things that are missing and the people that aren't there and the parts of our life that aren't working, although I like to be solution orientated, so I like to recognize when something's not working so I can nip it in the bud as soon as possible, because I want to resolve that. I want to find a solution. I want to get that energy moving out. I don't want to hover in the things that aren't working. So I want to find a solution to my problems. This is a constant thing. It's as constant for me as me finding and maintaining my balance. So this is super important. So can we look at what is working? Can we look at what does motivate us? Can we notice and recognise and appreciate the people that are there and not spend so much time on what's missing? So this shift in perspective may also help us go out of the rut and move from the rut into something more uplifting in regards to life, our life, and the life that hopefully we're an active participant in. Because it's our life, it's up to us to actively participate in our life. So there are our cards for Thursday and Friday. I am going to pull a theme card in just a moment. Before I do, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment. Please share if you're inspired to. If you prefer to connect via email, then please send us a message if you wish, or via private message if you prefer. So if you want to learn more about my cards that I've used today, you can learn more about them on my website at templeofbalance.com.au. You can use the deck separately, or you can combine them if you want to have some fun. So that's an option if you wish to. I've also got my Temple of Balance's 20th birthday events happening throughout February 2025 here in Tasmania. So if you're drawn to or want to or can come to Tasmania during February, there might be an event or two that speaks to you that you would like to be involved with. You can learn more about those events, my cards, and all the things I do at templeofbalance.com.au. That rhymed. Excellent. All right, let's now grab the best card for the theme. The theme card's going to help us see the bigger picture. And I already see sort of a bigger picture feeling around perspective, like a perspective shift, a shift from being held back to moving forward potentially, or being in a rut, being stuck, and then moving into a state of motivation. And I feel like there is a shift here in our perception or our perspective of things that will probably help, because a perspective shift can shift a lot. It really can shift so much, and almost instantly. It's quite incredible. So the best card for the theme for the majority of us for the 18th and the 19th of July is this. It's another Animal Kingdom Oracle card, and it's this. Yes! This is the cherry on the top. This is the top card in the whole deck of 110 cards. It's the Spirit Dragon. So we have 5 dragons. The dragons are good. They're very good when they come up. And this is the ultimate dragon, the Spirit Dragon, card 26. And it says heightened energy. This is a great, really favourable couple of days to do the things that I've mentioned that speak to you and that resonate with you. So it's a great time to move out of the rut. It's a great time to try something new. It's a great time to step out of our comfort zone, to step out of being a hermit crab and try something new. It's a great time to uplift and elevate ourselves, to motivate and find enthusiasm and joy for life. It's a great time too to open up our hearts and trust in our heart to pull us forward. It's very difficult to open our heart if we've got it all walled up, if we're scared of being hurt again, potentially, because usually when we're hurt in love, and this might not necessarily be in an intimate love issue that's happened in an old relationship, it could be something that's really affected us really personally and close to our heart. And we tend to cope with that. We tend to put a bunch of walls up. And those walls become barriers. Well, they keep us safe, actually, to begin with. They keep us safe so we can survive them. But we tend to shut down. And it's actually interesting. Now I relate this to the bear card with the rut as well. Because we tend to hide behind these walls that we put up. So at the beginning, when we first put them up, they're usually there to help us survive or help us cope or move through difficult times that have closely affected our heart or wounded our heart. And then we have to consciously take the walls down. And I see so many people, so many of us, we keep the walls up. And then many years pass and we've still got these walls up and we're still keeping love at a distance. We're still keeping, now love could mean love as in relationship, but also a love for life, keeping good things out. So to be open in the heart, to receive and to hear the calling of our soul and to hear the calling of our heart that's calling us out of the rut or out of the shell, we have to have an open heart. If our heart is closed, then we're probably going to still feel like we're in a rut. So my questions to you may be things like, do you have walls up over your heart? Are they new walls? Is this a new situation that's happened that you're working through? If so, the walls are probably need to be there as you work your way through, as you heal, as you mend, and then eventually you can bring your walls down. So if it's a new situation, then, sometimes we need to have walls up. If it's a fresh new thing, while we cope with that change. Now, if it's an old thing, if you've got walls up, and when did you put them up? Oh, it was 10 years ago, or 30 years ago, or even 5 years ago, or perhaps even a year ago, depending on what the situation is, then are these walls supporting you? Are they healthy for you? Or are you using them as an excuse not to step out into the world? Are you using your walls as an excuse not to be in an intimate relationship or find someone to share your life with or to welcome love and good things into your heart? Now, when we have walls up, especially long-term walls, we tend to get very defensive of our walls. So you might find yourself even sitting there having excuses as to why your walls are up, even though they're old walls. We get defensive of our walls because they become a defense system, I guess, and we hide behind them, and we'll want to defend them. We will defend them. Until we're blue in the face, we will defend them and justify all the reasons we can think of why we've got these walls up and why we won't let love in. But the only person we're actually hurting is ourselves when we keep those walls up. And when we get defensive, it's a sure sign that we have unhealthy walls up that we may need to consciously break down. So how do you break these down? What I find really helpful and what I guide people with when I'm connecting with someone who I feel has walls up like this is to actually visualize myself. I visualize, I go into a bit of a meditation. I visualize this wall. Sometimes it feels like castle walls around the body or around the hearts, and hiding behind those castle walls. And you can't see out of them, but also you can't let things in either. And then I imagine myself just getting a big sledgehammer and breaking down these walls. So I visualize in my mind that I'm breaking these walls down. So it's a bit like the Tower card in the tarot, allowing the tower to crumble, allowing those defensive walls to come down. And when they come down, we'll probably feel vulnerable and exposed and a bit naked at the beginning, because we're so used to having these defences and walls up and being behind these castle walls. But as we break them down, as we sort of feel exposed and vulnerable and fragile in those initial moments, then we can go out, we can climb over the rubble, and we can go and see what's out there in the world, the people to meet, the things to experience, the things to enjoy, the challenges to be had that can make us a stronger and better person, hopefully. So there are good things around over this next couple of days. The energy is heightened, and if you don't feel it, you might want to explore that walls up over the heart. If your walls are down and you're open, you're letting yourself be open and vulnerable, and there's a strength in that, then you'll probably feel this pull. You'll probably feel this sense of gratitude for what is there, what is available, what is heightened, what is abundant for you at this time. So a great time too to connect or feel our loved ones in spirit with the spirit dragon. And the dragon energy is around very strongly at the moment. The dragon energy is helping pull us out of those deep places and lift up into the world. So this is the transition from the feminine to the masculine, the true feminine and the masculine. I'm not talking about femininity. Femininity. I'm not talking about feminists. I might be talking about femininity, but it's the divine feminine, the yin energy that's shifting up into the yang, which is the masculine, which is the manifestation of things. This is being supported by the dragon energy for some reason, and it's so powerful as we emerge and shift out of that deep place and bring those deep things that we've discovered up and out into the world to manifest them in our life itself. So the Spirit Dragon, a great card to have as our theme. Enjoy, have a great couple of days, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.